Well, it's Friday morning here on Vuka Africa. We're going to lighten things up a little bit. It's the start of the weekend, just in case you forgot, and we try and get you into that winding down mode. We have music to lighten up the mood. American soul singer has now found a home in South Africa and recorded his inspiration in a form of an album. Now, Coxs has just released his second album. It's called Wonder. Aaron is an American by heart, but I guess, or an American by initial birth, but now he's in South Africa. He's married a South African woman, and he joins me now in studio to chat about furthering his career. Aaron, welcome. Appreciate your time. Tell us a little bit about why you came to South Africa, of all places in the world.
Well, thank you, Peter. I love South Africa. I came here originally to do a little bit of guitar playing for a friend of mine, who's a spoken word artist, also from Nashville, and got to meet a lovely young lady who is now my wife. And we were married earlier last year in March, and I decided to come spend some time in South Africa, see this country, kind of see her home where she grew up, and I've really fallen in love with the people and the music, and it's been great. It's been a great experience.
Tell us a little bit about you growing up. You're the youngest of four brothers. You grew up, in Alabama, is that right?
That's correct.
And then moved to Nashville. Tell us a little bit about you growing up.
Well, I grew up in Huntsville, Alabama. It's on the northern edge of Alabama. It's a very eclectic town. It's Rocket City. It's known for NASA and everything, and so it doesn't necessarily have a lot of the stereotypical Alabama Southern attributes to it, but there was a lot that I was exposed to, a lot of different cultures, a lot of different things. Growing up, I was the youngest of four brothers, and we were all into music. It was very much a musical family. We really enjoyed singing. I played drums from the time I was 10. My older brother played drums. We played violin, all these kind of things. And I started writing music later, actually. Moved to Nashville about 8 years ago. I was 18. And and I've been there pretty much doing music since.
Where's your happy place? What are your lyrics? How would you describe your music? Where's your happy place? Where do you write your music?
I write music in about every place imaginable. Could be on an airplane, mowing the grass, having a shower. It comes in a dream. It could be anywhere. But I then have to kind of take all these little bits of inspiration and get a little bit more organized with it in an office or something, and actually put them together into songs that have become complete projects, you know.
You've also worked with a lot of high-profile South Africans, Vuka, Proverb, Honor, Carstens. What was it like working with them?
Oh, it was wonderful. I was privileged to be able to perform on a song called Get Together. It was like a charity thing. It was a very, very great experience, especially for me. I felt blessed because it was I'd only been in Africa for about 6 months or so. And so, it was awesome. Really, really glad to be able to do that.
I'm interested to know what you knew of South Africa before you came here.
Less than you might think. But I knew, well, in America we see Africa on TV, and when we probably are seeing more northern parts, and so it was much more westernized than I expected. So I expected it to be more like the Zulu culture, and there's a lot of that, and it's awesome, but I had no idea how incredibly westernized and nice it was, as far as like the malls and the different big businesses and everything, and television and radio and all kinds of stuff. It's really cool, actually.
Now, it's so difficult to compare the United States music industry to the South African or African music industry. I mean, it's on a different ballgame. How could you compare them?
Well, it's interesting. The way I would say that I've seen it is that America is incredibly saturated with musicians, even from all over the world. In fact, even several from South Africa have moved there, even to Nashville, where I'm from. And it's so saturated. There's a lot of great stuff, but it can be very much like a machine because there's so much to pick from. There's so many artists that, okay, we've got all these country artists, all these pop artists, okay, we'll pick this one. Whereas South Africa, there's a lot less, but I think you do get to really see some of the heart and soul of the music and the musos that are here. It's a new term I picked up, musos, since I got here.
I guess also the likes of iTunes is changing the way music is listened to around the world. I mean, it's one song can make you a massive star nowadays. It's not necessarily an album. Is that something that you look into in terms of your music career?
Yeah, absolutely. I really I like to release a lot of music just to get it out there, but definitely with the digital distribution, it's great. iTunes is amazing. I love to push a song or two, and yeah, I really just want my music to influence and affect everyone that would potentially enjoy it and get it to them.
All right, well, Aaron is kindly enough led us into his little music world. His first album it's called Back from the Grave, is that right?
That's great.
We've got a little snippet for you, and also stay tuned. A little bit later on, Aaron's going to be doing a little performance for us as we close out the show. We're going to take him on board as a South African as of now, despite his accent. So Aaron, let's take a look at that first album. It's called Back from the Grave. Let's take a short look at that.